Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel where today we're going to do my all-star break tier list, breaking down each team into how they've done so far in the first half and kind of just discussing how they have been here. Some surprising teams have been done very well, other teams disappointed. So let's go on and get started with the LA Angels, one of the worst teams in the American League. A couple teams are down below them, but they're just a bad team, kind of like how we all thought they would, especially after losing Shohei Ohtani, losing Trout for the entire year, and it's just there's nothing really there to give you any sign of life there in the city of Angels. So Angels are bad. Houston currently a game back of the Mariners for the division lead. I think it's 2 or maybe 3.5 games back of the last wild card spot in the AL. But considering where they were a couple months ago as one of the worst teams in baseball, they have really turned it around. They've been playing really good baseball of late. And I believe they will probably overtake Seattle in their division and make the playoffs, as everyone wants. Next up, Oakland A's. Bad team. They, as all expected, are bad, but they're not god-awful like they were last year, so there's been a bit of an improvement there. But with the owner's apathy towards the fan base and the fan base being pretty much pissed off at the owner, no one is coming out. I really feel for these players here. They're not going to get paid here. The fans don't care because they're moving away. And Brent Rooker should have been an all-star this year. Let's just say that. Next up, Toronto Blue Jays. Bad. They've been a bad team this year. I mean, underperforming. They have underperformed for the amount of talent they have on that roster. And it's kind of sad to see there. Next up, Atlanta Braves. Currently the top wild card team in the National League. They've been playing really solid baseball, especially considering that Ronald Acuna Jr. is out for the year. Chris Sale has been fantastic for them so far this year. Probable Cy Young Award winner in the National League so far this year. Vote now. And he's been a big reason why they've been as good as they have been. So, Atlanta, they're doing pretty darn good. Next up, we got the Milwaukee Brewers in the divisional tier. 4.5 game lead on the St. Louis Cardinals for the lead in the NL Central. And let's just say I knew that they would be better than what they were. I had them fighting for division with Chicago this year, and a lot of people did not. A lot of people had the Brewers down in the bottom of the division, not believe in them at all. I think a lot of people overrated the loss of Corbin Burns and Craig Counsell on this team. I had a feeling a lot of our rookies from last year would improve. I was worried about the pitching and still kind of am, but the offense has been fantastic. The rookies have been great. Jackson Chourio looks like a stud in his first year at 20 years old, being basically kind of an above average at a 20-year-old. So great there from Milwaukee. Yelich and Contreras have big years. And overall, the Brewers have been pretty darn good, and I'm proud to say I was right. Next up, the St. Louis Cardinals. Currently sitting as the second wildcard team in the National League. They also have improved since early in this year. They were honestly a pretty bad team. Just very solid, above average and kind of everything, but not really great in anything. They'll make the playoffs most likely because the NL has been awful, but they're probably not going to go very far. But good on you, St. Louis, even though I hate your guts with a passion that no one else would ever know. Chicago Cubs. I mean, they're not bad enough to be bad, but they're kind of just meh. Definitely a major disappointment. A lot of people had the Cubs winning this division. A lot of people overrated Craig Counsell. Me as a Brewers fan, I like Craig. I think he's a good manager, but he's not the best manager in baseball type good. A lot of players have disappointed. Shota Imanaga has been pretty good for them, though. But, yeah, their offense has not been good. Cody Bellinger has not looked good either. So, kind of just a meh team there. Arizona Diamondbacks, again, another slow starting team, has kind of picked it up a bit. Only a game back of the NL wildcard there. But they're kind of just a mediocre team in general. But since they're so close, they're in wildcard tier. I mean, not really much else to say about Arizona at the moment. LA Dodgers, first World Series contender on this list. They just been with the Dodgers. Even with Mookie Betts out for the year, they have a comfortable lead in the NL West. Currently second best record in the National League. They got Ohtani. They got Freeman. They got some good offensive pieces around them. Teoscar Hernandez has been fantastic for them. Just won the home run derby. Pitching has been solid. Overall, they're the Dodgers. They are going to be there, but he's got to wonder if they're going to collapse in October like always. Next up, we have the San Francisco Giants. Kind of a med team. Don't really know what's going on there because they're just kind of bland. I know Blake Snell has really struggled for them this year. Matt Chapman has been kind of okay, but not much else to say there about the San Francisco Giants. And Cleveland Guardians. Best record in the American League. Yeah, the best record in the American League belongs to the Cleveland Guardians. I did not expect them to be this good. Jose Ramirez has been fantastic. MVP candidate for them. Stephen Kwan, David Fry, all-star caliber players. Pitching staff has been good. Bullpen has been amazing. I think they could be a real challenge to a couple teams in the American League. So they're up there in World Series contender. Division tier for now is Seattle. They only have a game lead on the Astros. I expect them to fall off really hard as their offense has been terrible this year. Alive by luck and some decent pitching. So I don't expect Seattle to be there for very long. So Mariners are up there. Miami Marlins. Worst team in the National League. Bad offense, bad pitching. A big step back compared to last year when they snuck into the playoffs. I expect them to be kind of a mad team. Did not expect them to be worse in the league type bad. So Miami probably want to chip off some assets they have and try to get some prospects or stuff like there. But Miami not very good. New York Mets. The power of Grimace has propelled the Mets from a terrible team in a terrible situation, thinking about selling a lot at the deadline, to currently holding the last spot in the NL wildcard. They've kind of just been good. Francisco Lindor, underrated as heck, probably should have been all-star. Brandon Nimmo has been really good for them. Overall, the Mets have been a solid above-average team for the past few months, and definitely another NL team that has recovered from a slow start. Washington Nationals. They're bad, but they're a fun kind of bad. They're bad because they're young. They're getting experience. C.J. Abrams made an all-star team this year. Been a really solid player for them. They just called up their top prospect, James Wood. They're still kind of developing, piecing together this amazing talent pool they have. So they got a bright future. But for right now, just kind of putting it all together. And they're still bad, but they got talent. They got talent there. Baltimore, World Series contender. Currently leading the AL East, fending off the New York Yankees. Corbin Burns has been fantastic for them. The offense has been great. Gunnar Henderson is a top 2 MVP candidate right now with Aaron Judge. And they're just, Baltimore is good. They're young. They're fun. So good job, Baltimore. San Diego, currently a game back of the last NL wildcard spot. Definitely underachieving this year. They have the big names. They got Jurickson Profar came back from basically being out of the league to being an all-star this year. Tatis has been good. Machado has been decent. They got Luis Ariz. They bought all these pieces, but they're still not that great of a team. And I think for a team that spent this much money and have this much wrapped up in assets, that they will be better, but they're not. So San Diego down there. Then we get to the best team in baseball, the Philadelphia Phillies. Yeah, their hitting is insane. They got Harper, Schwarber, Trey Turner is there. Alec Baum has been really good for them. Pitching has been fantastic. Bullpen has been good. Overall, they're the best team in baseball. Currently, I think the favorites to win the World Series. Definitely probably want to win the pennant in the National League. So up there, we got the Philadelphia Phillies, number 1. They got the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm putting them in meh. They're at 500. They've been playing better baseball. Paul Skeens has been absolutely incredible. Would not be surprised if he potentially wins the NL Cy Young Award. He's starting the freaking All-Star game for Pete's sake. And that dude is the real deal. He is absolutely fantastic. And he's probably going to be on the Yankees here in about 4 seasons. But, no, Pirates are building something there. So, good on you, Pittsburgh. Texas Rangers defending World Series champion. Meh. They are below 500. I mean, they got some All-Stars in Seager and Simeon, but they just have not been consistent this year at all. A lot of the guys are underperforming, but, hey, they got that World Series crown. I think they get a pass this year, but meh. Another team that's meh, Tampa Bay. Not really that great either. They're just underperforming compared to what they normally do, so they're up there in meh tier. Next up, we have the Boston Red Sox. Currently sitting, I believe they are the second seed, second wild card team. Let me check. No, they're the third wild card team here in the American League. Better than I expected for them. Pitching has been solid. Offense has been really good. They've just been chugging along, being a very solid baseball team. So, good on you, Boston. Good on you. Next up is the Reds, another team that's in the meh tier, underperforming, especially because we thought they had all this talent. We thought Ellie De La Cruz would take this next step into superstardom territory. He's still very good, but not that great. Pitching has been below average. Offense has not been as good as we thought. They definitely have underperformed. A lot of people had them winning the division or being a wild card team, but they are definitely not that right now. So there's that. Colorado, they're bad. They're just a very, very bad team. Only a half game better than the Marlins right now in the National League. They're just, what on earth are they even doing right now? So Colorado's bad. Kansas City, they're really good. Currently, there are 2 games back in the AL wildcard, but they're 52-45. Big lead from a lot of their guys. Bobby Wood Jr. is a superstar talent. Pitching has been really good. Offense has been getting there. Salvador Perez is having a resurgence in his career, so Kansas City is up there. They might not make it because of how stacked the American League is this year, but really good team. Next up, the Detroit Tigers. They're a meh. 47-50 right now. They're kind of just there to try to develop some talent. They're probably going to sell off some pieces here. I think Jack Flaherty is probably going to be traded. So Detroit, meh. But they're gearing up for something in the future, so keep it up, Detroit. Then we got the Minnesota Twins. Currently the second wild card spot here. They've been, again, very solid team. Decent pitching, pretty good offense. Really good. So Minnesota's up there in wild card tier. White Sox, worst team in baseball by far. They're at 27 wins. Already have 71 losses. 27.5 games back at the last wild card spot. And they're going to be even worse as they're probably going to sell their 2 best players at the deadline. So they're down there in White Sox tier because they're just that bad. The New York Yankees, top tier. Honestly, they're World Series contenders in my opinion. They're right there with Baltimore. And Garrett Cole's back. They have some really good pitching right now. Aaron Judge is insanely good. Juan Soto is good. There is some concern a little bit there that they have had kind of a bad few weeks. But when they're clicking, they're one of the best teams in baseball. So this is where I'm at here at the All-Star Break World Series contenders. I got Philadelphia, Baltimore, New York Yankees, Dodgers, and then the Cleveland Guardians. Divisional tier teams, I got the Milwaukee Brewers and Seattle Mariners. Wild card, I got the Braves, Twins, the Red Sox, Cardinals, Astros, Royals, Mets, Diamondbacks, and Padres. Meh. Got the Pirates, Rays, Giants, Rangers, Reds, Cubs, Tigers. Bad, I got the Nationals, Blue Jays, Angels, A's, Rockies, and Marlins. And White Sox are in their own tier. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Has your predictions from the beginning of the year changed at the moment? Go see what we have now. If so, let me know. And I'll be back here very soon. Peace.